All right, so I'll be honest with you guys. I really didn't know what to expect when Subaru said that they were going to be making the Trailseeker. I sell gas vehicles every day, and that's pretty much only what I sell. So, obviously there were some questions in my mind. Is it going to be powerful enough? Is it going to have enough range? Is it going to have enough features? Well, I must say, after spending a lot of time with the vehicle, I'm very surprised, pleasantly surprised with the vehicle, and there's a lot of things that I would really love to show you guys about the car. All right, guys, so we got the Trailseeker here, and I want to start off, I think the coolest thing about it is the fact that it makes about 375 horsepower, which makes it the most powerful Subaru ever made, so faster than any WRX or STI ever made. All that combined into an SUV, which is really, really cool. It goes 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. So, that combined with the fact that it is an EV and you don't have to spend any money on gas, I think is probably the coolest thing about the car. Everything with rising gas prices right now, I really think makes that super attractive. Starting with the front exterior here, I think one of the most unique things about it obviously is going to be that there's no radiator. That's pretty typical of EVs. There's no radiator grille. The other cool thing I think really is going to be the headlights. I think it's the most striking piece of the design language here. You have 6 individual headlights that I think really make it look aggressive. You've also got your fog lights right here. You got parking sensors along the front bumper as well. Really also a unique Subaru badge. It's black and it's also flat. It's not raised against the bumper. So, it kind of gives it a nice flush and sleek look. And then you've also got your eyesight camera up here, which is going to control all of your, adaptive cruise, your eyesight technology that Subaru really is known for. All of those nice safety features that really attract people to Subaru. So moving on to the exterior cladding here, just want to touch on this. I've definitely had some mixed reviews as far as the appearance on the vehicle for customers, but it does serve a purpose. The first being is it's not going to rust. Plastic doesn't rust, so you don't have to worry about any of your body panels up front really rusting or deteriorating. The second reason is it's going to save a lot of weight. It's going to get you to that range that the vehicle offers of about 280 miles. So with this one, this is the premium. You do get 18-inch wheels on here. You will get bigger and different wheels with other and higher trims. But one thing that's unique about this is they do actually put a little plastic cover over the actual wheel, and this is to actually make it more aerodynamic and save you a little bit more MPG, and again, add to that range that you get with the vehicle. Moving on to the size of the vehicle, it is actually very similar in size to an Outback. Has very similar wheelbase and overall dimensions of the vehicle, but the interior is going to be a bit smaller as well as having a lot of different features on there. You do also have 8.5 inches of ground clearance. Our customers in Rochester really love it for the winters. You get through that deep snow that we get here sometimes, and it really gets you through anything. And then even when you're not using the X mode, the symmetrical all-wheel drive that comes on this vehicle that's on all the time is really good for most situations, so you really don't ever have to worry about slipping or sliding in any conditions. All right, moving on to the tailgate here, a couple of things to mention. First and foremost, there's no exhaust. It's an EV, it doesn't have exhaust fumes, so it doesn't have an exhaust. Other cool thing that I always like to mention is you have this really big light bar. Looks really cool at night when it's lit up. You get the whole thing that comes up and lights up. Also, you have your Subaru spelled out here. There's no badge back here. It is unique to Subaru EVs. This and the Uncharted have this. So it's just a cool little detail. And then going on here, you do have your power liftgate that opens and closes with the push of a button. All right, moving on to the space of the vehicle in the trunk, you've got plenty of space back here. So like I said, it's very similar in size to an Outback. That's kind of what the Outback is known for, is, having a ton of space, having that, wagon shape that gives you all that extra cargo room. That being said, when you got the seats down, it's almost like a covered truck bed. And you got so much room back here, I can even lay down. And I can take it camping if I want to. So just touching on the roof racks here, very common feature for Subarus. About 95% of Subarus all have them. They're very useful for what you want to use them for. If you go camping, kayaking, or if you want to just put other crossbars, you can do pretty much anything you want to with them. Extra cargo room, like I said, they're really useful in a lot of different ways. Here on the interior, the first thing I always notice is going to be the screen here. You do have a 14-inch multimedia display here that's very responsive, very nice to navigate and use, very responsive to the touch like I mentioned. You do also get your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, all wirelessly. You don't even need to plug in your phone anymore. Of course, you still can, but you don't have to. All of your climate controls will be on the screen as well. Moving down to the center console here, you do have 2 wireless chargers here, one for you and your passenger, just in case you guys want to both charge your phone at the same time. And then you've got a couple of your different drive modes here, like X mode, traction control as well down here too. Other really unique thing about the Trailseeker, and this is in the Uncharted too, I call it the little medicine bottle shifter. You kind of have to push down and twist, kind of make it change gears. So it's unique and it's kind of fun when you get the hang of it. You do also have a unique shaped steering wheel in here. It's kind of got that D shape. It makes it a little easier to turn and, you know, makes it handle a little bit easier when you get used to the feel of it. And then you do also have your multimedia display up here that's going to show your speedometer, your charge, stuff like your adaptive cruise control and what all that's doing too. So really useful, have all the information that you need right in front of you. Focusing on the screen here, like I said, a lot of the main functionality of the vehicle now is going to be through the screen. Stuff like your climate controls, your music, your phone, your navigation, all that good stuff. This first screen here is going to be your Drive Connect. It's going to get you access to Tesla superchargers, charging routes and stuff like that, so you can plan out your trips a little better. I can't really get too in-depth to it right now because the car and the VIN does have to be activated through Subaru of America for this feature to be active. So I can't show you that one. Going through the screen here, like I said, really responsive here. And then this is the music channel and everything. Again, you have your Sirius XM, FM, AM as well. Going on the phone here, like I said, I don't have a phone paired right now. Otherwise, it would show either your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto, which works honestly about how it does in a lot of other cars. You have your maps, your music, and your weather. Then you got your car settings. You can do like your driving assist, your safety features, all that good stuff, battery preconditioning. That's all in here for you to kind of customize and go through. And then you got a couple other settings in here, like your current driver profile. You can actually set up what they call a digital key, which ties your phone directly to the VIN of the car. So you can use that as like a key to your car. So that's really a unique thing with this and other EVs too. I always encourage my customers to kind of play around with this stuff, find out what they do and don't like with the ownership of the vehicle, because a lot of stuff is unique to you. And then going through the vehicle settings here, your driving assist, you have your lane departure, intuitive parking assist, all of this stuff that Subaru is really known for, keeps you safer on the road. All this stuff is, like I said, really gonna help you in your driving. You can also set up a charging schedule for you. This is just to kind of help you, again, if you're on a road trip or anything like that, you can add stops or points at which you want to charge the vehicle and kind of add that to it. And like I said, plan out your trip accordingly. That battery preconditioning in here is like if you're on a cold day, you want to let the battery warm up before you use it, you can do this. And then it'll also help you charge so you don't have to worry about damaging your battery when you're fast charging as well. All-wheel drive, you can just kind of see what it's doing here. If you have this screen on while you're driving, you'll see little power indicators coming and stuff like that from each wheel. Then you got your tire pressure monitor. Nothing too crazy here. So focusing on the speedometer and the steering wheel here, the unique shape of the steering wheel means you don't actually have to have it up as high. You can have it a little bit lower and it still feels good. It still feels ergonomic and it's easy to handle. You do have all of your adaptive cruise control, lane departure, lane centering controls on the steering wheel here, as well as the controls for the center screen there with your speedometer and everything. On the speedometer, like I said, you do have your adaptive cruise control meter. You've got, it shows you how much power you're using and how much you're on the throttle versus how much, you have left and stuff. You've got your battery life here, and then you've got your expected range, and then the charge of your battery right there, along with some other stuff with the temperature outside, the time, and the trip meter. Touching on the steering wheel here, a lot of people say you can't see the speedometer just due to the shape and the position of the steering wheel. You can adjust the steering wheel. You can move it up or down. You can pull it in or out. You can also adjust your seat to get that perfect viewing angle for the speedometer. Just like any car, you have to do some adjusting to get things the way that you want, but you're able to see the speedometer. One other really unique thing about the Trailseeker here is there's actually no glove box. They do give you a couple other things for storage space. There's a little cubby underneath here where my hand is for that. And then in here, they give you a pretty big center console. And then in the center console, since they didn't give you a glove box, they have to put the owner's manual somewhere. It's under the little insert in the center console, and then you get all your owner's manuals and everything that you need. Moving on to the second row here, pretty standard stuff back here, nothing too crazy. You do have a couple of charging ports back here for your passengers if they need to charge their phones. They've also got their own climate vents as well. You can pull this down and they have their own cup holders as well as a little phone holder here that, in case you don't want to lose your phone. I have more than enough room back here. I am kind of short, but it is very similar in size to the Outback. So you're gonna have plenty of room back here. People 6 feet and over should have no issues getting back here. All right, looking at the charging port here, it is pretty easy to access. You just have to make sure the car is unlocked, and you come down and press here on the bottom left corner and it opens right up. You know, it is compatible with all 3 levels of charging, so 1 through 3. So you get all 3 adapters with that car as well as the charging cable. Charging in Rochester is pretty easy. You know, they have stations at Hy-Vee, grocery stores, places downtown. You can even get a charger put in at your house. The cool thing about that is, depending on where you live, if you buy one of these, you can actually get a discount on your tax breaks or your electricity, again, depending on your municipality. But like I said, pretty easy to charge and really not too complicated. This vehicle does have about 280 miles of range at full charge. In the winter, that will be a little bit less just because of the cold. You can use things to mitigate that, like the battery preconditioning and just letting the car warm up. It is rated at about 117 mpge, which is kind of the equivalent of getting about 117 miles per gallon in a gas vehicle. And it's going to charge from about 10 to 80% in about 28 minutes. So it's really quick, not really going to delay you on your road trips at all. So that is really what the car is designed to charge with, is within that percentage most of the time. So selling EVs in Rochester is definitely a kind of a new thing for us. You know, 99% of the vehicles that we sell here are gas only. So it is, like I said, a bit of a learning curve. It is very much a growing segment though. They have lots of chargers now put in over at Hy-Vee downtown, and then you can even get one installed at your house. So they're a lot more practical, a lot more useful now, and we're definitely seeing a lot more customers show interest in them. I sold an Uncharted about a week ago, and man, she loves it. She's just can't say enough great things about it, and you know, that part of that goes with the range, but all the other features that really they put in these new EVs.